Good morning. As you can see, we're wearing 3 layers of winter clothes. That means we're back to New Zealand. If you are watching the video, as you know, Europe is very, very hot. We wouldn't be dreaming of wearing 3 layers of winter clothes. We're back almost 10 days. I don't know what was better, hot or now cold. I guess body just kind of adjusted. We travel number of country. We landed in Paris, then went to Amsterdam for a couple of days, back to Paris, and then in between went to Brussels and did some more interviews, and back to Paris again. And Paris hot, and summer time, because of the school holidays, it was so crowded. From Paris we went to Geneva, which was like you go from really crowded places to really empty places, we kind of beside a heavy work schedule, we had a little trip out of Geneva. Where we went? Montreux.
Montreux.
Yeah, it was lovely. From Geneva, we went to Basel. We spent a day in Basel, meeting up with a couple of our friends, and doing some more work there. And from there, we went to Berlin. And we were really lucky to have a flat which was absolutely given to us by one of our friend. And if you're watching the video, Catherine, thank you very much having that that entire flat for ourselves. It was really a break, otherwise it would have been really exhausting. We went for Berlin to Hamburg for a day, and Sheila will talk a little bit more about it, the interviews that we did and technique that we had to use because we didn't have enough time. And from Hamburg, we went toward Italy, and we took 2 days break in Venice. I'm originally from Bangladesh, and I couldn't believe was so many Bangladeshis are in Italy. Like every second person beside local language, I could hear Bangla, and I met with so many Bangladeshi people, and I think. That was a little bit nugget of break for us in Italy. And Italy also, first we thought we'll not do an interview, then we ended up interviewing a fantastic women's advocate. From Italy we had a break in Qatar for a day and a couple of hours at night, and then flown back to New Zealand. Here we are. Body is still adjusting the time differences, catching up with some work, but I'm looking forward to doing a couple of interviews in New Zealand and Australia. Sheila?
Yeah, and I think as Farida was saying, a lot of the countries we visited actually reminded us of our home countries, the countries we originally come from. It's not just the people, it's also the crowd. The dust, the heat, the dirt, the long queues, and the way people give directions. You can never really find anything if you follow the directions. So, but when I say this with a sense of happiness, really, rather than grief. But all in all, I think it was a very inspiring trip. We met with some wonderful women who absolutely trusted us and opened up their hearts to us and told us stories that were very remarkable and spoke of resilience, the strength of women, and the difficulties they had to overcome.
And the losses
they faced in their personal lives, near and dear ones being lost, homes being lost. And their stories of how they were adapting themselves to their new homeland, not necessarily of their choice. Some of the stories were fantastic. We were also very inspired by a great photographer, Marilyn Strokes, whom we met in Hamburg, who was doing some really inspirational and remarkable work on the Greek island of Lesbos, supporting the refugee groups that are housed there.
In the hotspot.
In the hotspot, and talking about their stories through her pictures and photographs and short films. We are very happy to have met the women. I think we got about 14 interviews in all, and a lot more than we actually anticipated. And we hope that the trust they have laid in us, that they have rested their faith on us, we will endeavor to honor it and keep the confidentiality of what needs to be kept confidential. And we will shortly begin our work in putting the interviews together and send it off to the interviewees for their approval before we put anything else up on WomensDoko. So please bear with us and watch this space. We will be putting up things off and on. And thank you for being with us and being part of our journey.
Actually, the women that we the women that we met, they actually making it happen. I feel like we just landed there with a camera, and everything just happened. And that includes, we had a fantastic neighbor in Paris who we hope to keep in touch. Like, it's just the whole throughout, the food we ate in a shop when they heard about what we're doing and how they treated us. It just, the whole process was absolutely wonderful. I couldn't have asked better. But we both committed that we will do our best as we can, justice with the things that we have in our hand. And thank you for trusting us.
See you soon.